What's good, guys? It's DCRYPT back with another video on the boot camp, and today I am going to be covering risk management, right? So this is probably going to be a big one for a lot of you guys, and I hope this video clears up a bunch of questions you may have, because I know a lot of beginners go in, they have the expectation of making a lot of money. You know, obviously, yes, you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose it really fast, and my job is to help you from or prevent you from losing all that money, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and get straight into it, right? The first, oh yeah, sorry, ignore this. This is my girlfriend put it on the board. I'm not gonna erase it. But anyways, so like I was saying, a lot of people make the mistake of entering the markets assuming that they're just gonna make a bunch of money, right? And what tends to happen is people will size in really heavy off the start, not knowing any skills, not knowing any of the basics, nothing that you've seen already throughout the boot camp have they even, thought about. So they don't even know what they're executing. They're just jumping into the market. They lose or they might make money and then they end up losing more than they're supposed to and they call it gambling because they don't know what they're doing, right? And most people can never get over that hump because they don't understand the concept behind it, right? And all it is consistency. Consistency is going to overwork your risk to reward and overwork your position size. It doesn't matter what your position size is at all. It's all relative, right? And I'm going to give you an example right now. So when you're looking at consistency, when you're looking at being consistent, this is why it's so important, okay? Hang on here. If you trade with $1,000 and you make 10%, you now have $1,100. Now hang in with me, right? The mistake a lot of you make, or a lot of beginners make, is you will go ahead and trade the next day with $1,100, right? You made 10%, you made $100, cool. Now keep this in mind. If you trade with $1,100 and you lose 10%, you're gonna end up with less than what you traded with to begin with, right? This almost seems pretty obvious. Like this should be almost common sense. You don't want to use your gains to make more money. That's how people end up going backwards and losing more than they're winning. It's not about risk to reward your win rate at all. You can have a negative win rate and still be profitable, okay? Because if you think about this concept, you have three options every day: a loss, a win, or you break even, right? So your chances are already a lot higher for you to break even or win than you are to lose. So if you're losing more than you're winning, it's a you problem because you are not able to stay consistent with your position size. Now, check this out. A lot of people want to grow their account, right? Breaking news, you're not supposed to grow a trading account. You're supposed to grow a Roth IRA, long-term account. A day trading account is a high-risk portfolio. You're not looking to grow long-term. Yes, there are ways to trade options or futures for you to go long-term, right? This applies to every market, even crypto. So if you're going for long-term plays, you want to retire when you're 60, cool. This day trading is for risk takers, right? There's obviously risk. Obviously, yes, everything's a little bit of a gamble, but it's all mitigated risk, right? So we are understanding consistency will prevent us from losing more than we are winning, right? Because if we are losing more than we are winning or breaking even, that's a problem, okay? And of course, there's stop losses, there's this and that, but that's when we get back on the charts and we start explaining everything and putting everything together, okay? But for now, this is the most important concept, is staying consistent. And consistency isn't just being green every day. Consistency is taking the same position size, taking the same trade every single time. So that may mean you only take the trade twice a week. Because if you have, like I said, it's all relative. So if you have $10,000, 10K, right? You make 10%. Oh, you make 10%. Bruh, what even is that? I need this to be clear. And this is like raw. So uh, plus 10%, we all know what it is, right? I'm just slow. Now you have 11K, right? You do this 4 times a month. Let's see. You do plus 1K times 4. What is that? 4K a month. 4K times 12. 4 times 12. Boom, 40, 48. You're making 48K a year taking 4 trades. Because a lot of you don't understand the fact that you don't have to trade every day. All you have to do is be consistent. So, the one thing I want you to do, and a lot of people ask me this, is how much should I start with? As a beginner, if you are a complete beginner, I want you to start out with the smallest possible, because you will make mistakes, you will take losses, and I don't want you to lose all your money. So even if you have $10,000 to make 48K a year, you still haven't learned the skill yet to be able to do that. You have to start here and learn the skill set, learn to be consistent, build that habit, and then subconsciously you're gonna get bored of making $100 a day, because obviously you can make $1,000 a day if you wanted to. It's all relative, right? This is why risk management is so important, because most people, like I said, will jump in the beginning with $10,000, and this right here will end up happening. So they will end up with $9,000 instead, or $9,900 instead. And obviously it's a lot harder to make 10% or $1,000 with 990 or 9,900 than it is with 10,000, right? That's just the concept, but it all stems from consistency. Same position size. I'm not going to write it down. Number 1, same position size. 2, take the same trade every single time. By the time you're done with this boot camp, you're going to have one of the most successful setups of all time. And the idea of being consistent also while understanding when you're supposed to trade, which is later on. Okay? So this is very, very, very important. Without this, you can't be profitable. This is the most important thing about day trading. Consistency, which ultimately results into your risk management, right? So your odds are a lot higher to win or break even than they are to lose, okay? Stay consistent. Don't change your position size. The goal is to make money with your account, to withdraw it, and not try to grow it. If you want to grow it, start a Roth IRA. It's a lot easier, I promise, because you just play with inflation, right? Well, I know a lot of people that ask me, how long is it going to take for me to replace my income? Well, you know, this is the easiest question ever, because obviously everybody wants to know how long. Nobody wants to work a 9 to 5, right? I don't want to work a 9 to 5. That's why I started day trading. Okay, so it's a fair question, but it's all relative as well. Everything in day trading is relative. It's all fractal. It's all the same, just at a different scale. Okay, so if you're making $4,000 a month, obviously it's going to be a lot easier to get out of that 9 to 5 than it is if you were making $10,000, $15,000 a month, right? I know a lot of people that have started, they were door dashing and then got into day trading and made their first 30K a month, right? Obviously there's a lot of those cases. One of them was my students. And then you have another student who graduated high school a month ago, joined 6 months ago, and already has his first 5-figure day, right? All because he understood consistency from the beginning. And over time, he was able to adapt to the market, understand what's going on. He knew the trends. He knew what he was looking for. He stayed consistent. And because of that, you know, everybody asks, how do you get those crazy big plays? If you stay consistent every single day, you're bound to hit one of those trades. Especially once we start getting into stop losses and take profits, so you can properly know how to get in and get out, right? Because we never know when the good days are going to happen. It's so easy to understand which way the market's going to go, right? And it's also easy to know when the volume is going to step in, because news events, right? But your entry and your exit, your stop loss, your targets, all this and that, once we start tying everything in together, it's going to make a lot more sense, right? But start small. Or actually, I should give you guys steps. 1, start small. 2, this is, oh shoot, you guys can't even see it, man. Start small. This is step 1. Okay. Step 2, learn habit of Consistency. I know my handwriting is terrible. I'm sorry. This is the best you guys are going to get. So start small. You don't want to lose as much money in the beginning. You don't want to, I promise you, it's going to push you away from the market. I don't want that to be you. A lot of people give up because of this reason. They never even give it a chance because of this, okay? And then once you understand how much you want to trade with, it doesn't matter whether it's, if you're a millionaire, start with 1,000 or 10,000. Who cares, right? It's all relative. If you only have $10,000 in your bank, start with like 250. Go out your way, make those mistakes, get it out the way, learn about them, and then focus on this, right? So this is why you want to start small, and then you want to learn to be consistent, taking the same trades, taking the same setups, same position size every single trade. Boom. And then 3, profit, which obviously comes along with everything else that you have to learn. So we will get to this eventually. So if you're starting out, don't worry about, oh crap, like, am I going to lose money? Start small. I'm going to teach you how to be consistent, learn the habit of consistency, because you want to avoid losing more than you're supposed to. And you want to end up replacing your job and making $48,000 a year or more, like you see everybody doing. So as long as you understand this concept, you should be fine and you're not going to lose more. And if you watch this video and you end up losing all your money, it's not my fault because I try to help you. But it's been Decrypt. I'm out of here. Doses.